Hi guys, welcome to my podcast. I'm Nicole and I'm the brains and the beauty behind Yarn Craft by Nicole. And on this yarn chat, I've got lots of fun things to show you. The first of which is my featured make for this week. It is also one of my finished objects. In fact, I think it will be my only finished object. This is the Hoist the Colors Cowl by the Crafty, I think it's Crochetier. Because it's not Crochetier because there's an extra I in our handle, but I'll put that down in the description below. It's originally designed for minis. I think it uses 9 minis, but I used 3 50-gram hanks and I had none of the orange left over, a little bit of the kind of purpley color, and then a smidge of the ivory color. But what's cool about this, because it's Tunisian crochet, and Tunisian crochet in the round is tricky, there were 2 ways that you could finish it. So one of them was the option that I chose, where you basically make, I'm gonna take this off so you can see it a little bit better, like a lace-up back, or you could just seam it together. So I chose the lace-up back version. We'll see if it will focus. There we go. Kind of looks like a corset back. I used ribbon instead of crocheting a chain as the directions say to do, and I love it. I think it looks great. It's honestly a little too warm today to be wearing this, but I was excited that it was done and I wanted to wear it on the podcast. So I also need to go back and double check, because once I got into the groove of it, I really didn't go back to check gauge, but like mine is much bigger than the other versions that I saw. And part of that I think is that the hook size that I was using was just giving me a really loose gauge, but I like it. Like, this is about the size cowl that I like anyway. So I'm a fan. I love the way that the colors fade into each other. She does a really good job of describing how to do the fade. And with minis, like, it's even more seamless. So I'm a big fan of this. It uses Tunisian simple stitch, Tunisian treble crochet. I think that's about it. So I like it. The Hoist the Colors Cowl. The rest of, Scoot is taking his position near the window to guard. The rest of what I've got to show you this week are all whips. So the only other thing that I finished this week was I remade the hat that I showed you last week, and I just don't like it. Like, I blocked it. It's still just not the right fit. So I'll figure out something else to do with that yarn, but it doesn't love that yarn, does not love that pattern. And I don't think that it has enough stretch in it for the types of hats that my husband likes to wear anyway. So I'll figure something else for him. I think there's something else cool that I could make, maybe. I don't know. So what do I want to start with? I think I'll start with the Lego blanket. I think I only had 1 repeat done of this last time I showed it to you. I've done a lot. In fact, hopefully by next week, it will be all done. So let me show you. Ta-da! It's looking so good. I would probably say I am about 2/3 of the way done. I think I have enough of the different colors of yarn to make maybe 2 more repeats. We'll see. That's basically what I'm doing, because I bought an extra skein of the black to do the border. So I'm just going until I run out of the colors. So I bought a skein each of the colors, the red, the yellow, green, and blue, and then I bought 3 skeins of the black. I'm liking this a lot. It's another Tunisian project. This is offset blocks, and I'm really excited about it. So I think once I finish it, because I'll want to go over the edges, and guys, look, I wove in a ton of my ends and only have a handful of them right now. Because this is a pretty dense blanket, it is wearing out my hands a little bit. So every once in a while when I get to the end of the row, I just want to do something other than work the stitch again. So I weave in my ends. liking this a lot. I need to have it finished soon. It's for somebody who is due in May. So I don't remember what part of May, but my goal is to have it finished by next week, and I think I can accomplish that. It's very soft. I'm using Big Twist yarn for this, which I found at Joann. And these are labeled as a bulky weight. So I like it a lot. I will say that for this particular brand, it does split a decent amount. So I knot my ends anyway, but just know that it does unravel a little bit. So that's that one. And then the rest of these are pattern tests. So I'll show you, I don't think I had 2 of these even started last week. So the first one I will show you is the dress. So this is the Peony Peplum Dress. I can't remember if I had the sleeves done last week, but it's coming along really great. I love the puff sleeves. It's very flattering on. And then I'm opting for the pretty full skirt where I put 2 single crochets in each of those rows before starting the textured stitch. And I should still have plenty of yarn to do everything that I need to do. Pretty much from here on out, like all of the hard work is done. We'll see if it'll focus on this instead of my face. So the rest of it is just continuing in the round. There will be some pockets that you just seam to the front of it. I'm gonna do a little border in, yeah, I have them over here. In these colors at the bottom, but I won't use the whole skeins of this. I did, because we were talking in the testing group about how with this pattern, you could really make several different outfits. Like you could make a sleeveless version of the dress, or you could make just a peplum top. You could make a sleeveless peplum tank. And I think that I want to use the leftovers I have of these and a gray that I bought in the same yarn to make a peplum tank. I think that would look really cute. So that is what I'm rocking with over here. I've got 2 more full cakes of this, and then however much of the border I want to add. My goal is to have it be at least knee length. Like ideally I would like it almost mid-calf, but we'll see how much yarn I get through. So this is the one that I think I will work on a ton this weekend. We'll see. It's nice and just kind of easy crocheting now. All the hard part's done. But I think once I get to my last cake, instead of just adding it right in, I will do the pockets first, and then I will add in the last cake. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think it's gonna be fun to wear. It's very, very light. And this yarn, I do really like it still. However, the more I'm using it, the more it's kind of trying to stick to itself. And I did have a pretty nasty tangle just because it is so light and because it is so clingy. That was a little challenging to get out, but I did get it out. So that's that. But I am really enjoying this project, and it's gonna look so cute when it's done. So cute. Okay, I think I know which one I want to end on, so that is what I'm contemplating now. So the next top that I'm doing is the Açaí top by, oh, and that one's from Haley Handcrafted, Peony Peplum Dress. The next one is from Maura Makes Stuff, and it has 4 panels that you then seam together, and then you do the sleeves at the end, and you do like a surface crochet to combine your panels. So of the 4 panels, I have like 2.5 done now, which is 2.5 more than I had done last week. So you've got 2 front panels. I've got 1, 2 front panels. And then, here, let me just take this off for a second. Pretty little cowl. Yeah, that's fine. And then this much of a back panel, which is just straight. So, one, I love the color. I love the yarn I'm using. It is 24/7 cotton from Lion Brand. It's labeled as a worsted weight, but it's a pretty light worsted weight. There we go. I'm using the color Grass, which I think is appropriate. I feel like Peter Pan, which I'm kind of into. I'm a smidge worried about fit on this, if I'm being completely honest, because it's supposed to be oversized and I'm not sure that mine will be. I have a 48-inch bust, which depending on the pattern can either put me at an extra large or a 2X, like depending on the amount of ease, because I just finished a cardigan that was a 2X and it has a lot more ease than I would generally make for myself. So I opted to do the extra large in this, but I'm a little worried it's just gonna be tight. And it's already a cropped pattern. I don't know. I'm a little worried. I think it'll help once I'm finished when I do like a slip stitch around the edges to kind of not be as tight. But I've also never made a linen stitch or a moss stitch top that was done vertically. So like all of the stretch comes side to side. So that is the one thing I'm a little bit worried about. And I don't think it's the pattern issue. I think it's just because of where I hit. Like sometimes things are a little bit more one way than the other. And also because it is in panels, I won't really know the fit until all 4 of them are done. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about that. But I've only got 1.5-ish more panels to go. Like, look how much stretch that has. I don't know how it's gonna fit. It's also a little shorter than I thought it would be, because I did add some length to it. I don't know. It's a mystery because it's in panels. But also I could have this done by next week. I think it's gonna be super comfortable to wear because it's got a good drape to the fabric. And yeah, I think it's gonna be very fun to wear. And I think it will feel very cool. I think it's gonna look really cool. I'm just afraid that it's gonna be more snug than intended. So we'll see how this goes. But if it is more snug than intended, theoretically I could just remake it in another size because I think I have enough yarn to just take it out. I don't know that I want to do that. We'll see what happens. We'll also see what the designer says after I seam it up. But enjoying that. It's the hard part on this one is also done because the 2 back panels are the same rectangular shape. You're just making 2 of them. And that's the other thing, like once I see the back panels laid out, like that'll give me a little room. This, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm loving the color, I'm loving the way that it feels. Because this is a chainette yarn, the stitch definition on this is crazy good. Also, you're probably noticing that the ends on this, as well as the middle of this, kind of ruffle a little bit. That is because the foundation row or the beginning row here is all single crochet, and then you go and start doing the linen stitch or the moss stitch, and the moss stitch draws up a little bit. So when this is all, and I think that might be why the designer added seams so that it would be, or yeah, I think it'll flatten out a little bit because everywhere there is that ruffliness, you're gonna have a seam. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it. But that is the Açaí top by Maura Makes Stuff. It is currently in testing. All 3 of the garments that I'm making this week are all in testing. The last one, which I worked on a ton yesterday and was very hard to put down. I actually worked on a little bit this morning before I went to school, before I went to work, is the Understory cardigan with the beautiful purple fade that I showed you last week. You're not ready. Not ready to see how pretty this looks, but I'm gonna show you anyway. Guys, look at it. It is so pretty. Yeah, I just can't. This is the 4th color out of 8. This, are you gonna focus? There you go. This cardigan is going to use, or uses yarn from Fiberstory, Fyberspates, Primrose yarn, and I don't honestly remember what the color is for the dark blue, but this is also in the linen stitch. You might notice that this one ruffles a little bit at the bottom, but not a ton. I mean, that would come out with blocking, but that's because this designer wrote the first row to be a linen stitch row, just like chains, and go ahead and start in the linen stitch. So it's a little different there, but I am loving it. I'm hoping to finish the back piece of it with all of the colors this week, and then you come over and do 2 front panels. There's a border that goes around the outside, and then you seam it up and you're done. So I'm really excited about it. I think that I want to do the border in this color. I think I will have enough. I hope I will have enough, because I think I'm gonna like the darker outline as opposed to the light outline, which is what it will end on. But I love it. I love it so much. And it's so simple right now, because like the work on this is following the fade. And part of these colors, like, they're coming across well here, but like last night when I was watching TV and there wasn't a whole lot of natural light in the house, or no natural light in the house, I was like, have I done this row yet? I don't know. So I'm very pleased with how subtly the colors are fading into each other. So very excited about that. And that's all I got for you this week. It seems like a lot though. I did a lot of crocheting this week. I honestly can't remember if I showed you my Frosted Pathways Cardi. I think that I forgot to check to see if I had finished that last week, or if I finished it this week, but I did finish that, and if not, then I'll show it to you next week. And what I can't let go of is how gorgeous the weather is right now. It's like 80 degrees outside. It's sunny. We've had, you know, the longer evenings. Walking Scoot at like 8 p.m. has been blissful. It's been nice. Next week, I think it gets cold again here in Michigan, but this gives me this gives me good feelings for my husband's graduation, which is in 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow, he'll be graduating. Wild. So I am really excited about that too, because my parents and his brother are coming in, and it's gonna be a great time. So I hope that the weather is behaving wherever you are, and if not, that you get to go somewhere delightful soon. And with that, I will see you next week. Bye guys.